Students in Renfrew County are headed back to school, but not back to the classroom. Online learning has taken over, and I spoke to the Renfrew County District School Board to give us a little bit of insight into this not so new way of learning.
So in very short order, in a span of a week and a half, 2 weeks at the max, we created a platform, an online platform, a single entry point, as it were, for parents and students and our staff to access learning materials, and for students to access the teachers, to get the assignments, to have the discussions. So we created this platform, this portal, as it were, called RCDSB at Home. And we shared that with our students, elementary and secondary, and then we shared it also with the parents and staff. The intent of it is to provide, as best we can, all the resources that we feel students, staff, and parents need to work through this. So that might include, mental health resources, how to engage children in terms of the material that they're being delivered now through this online portal, and then just tips in terms of how you go about connecting with one another, staff to staff, and then parent to teacher, and then student to teacher, right? So we use the Google Classroom by and large as our probably our biggest online video connecting tool. So they go through that portal, engage through that way. We've been working, all of us, all the school boards across the province have been given the guidelines from the ministry around hours per week. So we have that to work with. In terms of how our teachers are applying it, we've been leaning on the professional judgment. I think we all understand, a lot of us are at home with our kids. We're doing that, parenting and childcare ourselves, while trying to, if we're lucky, still continue to work if we have that. And so I think there's an understanding on our part that throughout the week, you approach it as best you can when you can. And so it's not so much that it is set in stone in terms of the assignment is given on a Monday, and then by Tuesday or end of day Monday, it's submitted. It really is around having the conversations with the teachers to understand how it fits with your dynamic at home. So yes, in terms of how it happens, teachers reach out to the students. They have been for the last week and a bit, largely through email. In some cases, though, phone call or through an app, just to touch base, notify them this is where you go now through the portal. They would log in, access the materials that the teachers populate, and then you submit based on how you approach it and any direction that the teachers might have. But again, I want to emphasize, really, it is important because we know it, and I'm certainly living it as a parent of 3 young kids. Parents should have that conversation with their child's teacher to identify, if I can't get it to you by a certain time, share that. They need to know that. We want to accommodate as best we can. This isn't about adding any more stress to an already stressful situation at home. I think it's important to let everyone know, staff and students, that it's important that you're not necessarily going to get it right the first time, or it's going to take a little bit longer in terms of how you engage one another and each other, and that's all right? It's nothing's going to be perfect. It's not going to be what we had, in the old days, 3 weeks ago. We're going to figure this out together, and really, it's important to sort of take the time and space to make sure that we're feeling comfortable, we're not stressed, and that we can engage one another. And we can ask each other and talk to one another. It's just a different way of doing it, right? It's an email or an instant message. If you're having issues, please reach out, because we are still here. It's just a different way of getting a hold of us. And we want to make sure that everyone is being heard, and that in many ways we're feeling the same things you're feeling. So you're not in this alone, and we'll get there.